What's up, guys? Raul back here bringing you guys another update. And for this video, I do apologize actually because I didn't make a video for November because I only bought like one CD during November. And actually, this whole video is just going to be CDs. I didn't buy any records or cassettes lately. Why? I don't really know. Like, records, they're just kind of pricey and I can really only listen to them in my room. Tapes, I rarely find any tapes I really want. And CDs, you know, they're just the most convenient, they're decently priced, and I can also find a pretty good selection of things I like, so that's why I usually just buy CDs now. Occasionally I do buy cassettes when I find a cassette I like, or records when I find one that I like for a decent price, because I usually do find ones I like, but just not always for decent prices. Anyways, what's playing in the background, it's not part of the update. I already showed this one a few months ago, but it's Deicide's debut album. Awesome old school death metal right here. Anyways, this is gonna be the update for December. I'm gonna put up another video later this month showing you my favorite albums I bought this year. I'm probably gonna try to narrow it down to no more than 15 albums. I'm just gonna show my favorite albums I bought this year, which is going to be pretty hard. It's going to take some thought. Anyways, guys, it's a nice cloudy gray day outside. Pretty cold also. So, yeah, let's get started with this update, shall we? Alright, guys, so for the first album I'm going to show right here is Celtic Frost Morbid Tales from 1984. Now, this is early black metal. And honestly, I thought it was a pretty decent album. It wasn't really like anything like wow for me. I've listened to it maybe 3-4 times, and you know, it's not really like black metal like I really know it, because black metal for me is like Bathory, Dark Throne, Mayhem, stuff like that. But I don't know, the production on this is pretty clean considering it's black metal, which is pretty funny because well, no, it's good because you can hear all the instruments clearly, like everything, like the drums, bass, guitar, everything's clear. The vocalist, Tom Warrior, he's amazing, awesome. But I think it would have been better if they would have purposely made the production a little bit lower on this album. I don't know. I mean, I know it's a remastered version, so maybe the original version was a little bit dirtier, you know? But I do note that the demos, they do have a few, like 4 demos. The demos actually, I think, sound better than the actual studio recordings. It just has that rough black metal, like really raw sound, you know, the demos that the actual studio recordings don't have. But you know, it's pretty decent, really dark sounding stuff. You know, it's got a nice booklet right here as well. I got this one on Amazon actually during Cyber Monday. All the shipping was free on almost everything on Amazon, so I was like, why not buy some CDs, you know? I could use some new CDs, and this is an album I'd been wanting for a while. The only song I heard of by Celtic Frost before I bought this album was Circle of the Tyrants, which that was a good song. Obituary actually did a cover of that on their Cause of Death album also. But yeah, we got a nice little booklet right here just showing the band's photos from around 1984. But yeah, Bathory put out their debut album in 1984 also. I'd say compared to Bathory's debut album, I probably like Bathory's album more. Maybe I just need to listen to this more, or maybe I just wasn't in the mood, in the right state of mind while I was listening to this album, so I don't know. But it was a pretty decent album. I'm definitely going to be giving it more spins, going to give it more of a try. So yeah, Celtic Frost. Alright guys, now here we got Limp Bizkit's Significant Other from 1999. So this is, now pretty much everything I bought is metal, and technically this is metal too, new metal. Is new metal actual metal? Not really, but I mean I kind of still consider it a subgenre of metal either way. Kind of like hair metal, you know, I feel like it has the same... It's in the same scenario as hair metal, where technically it's metal, it's got elements of metal, but it's kind of a little bit too far from it. But I'd rather call this alternative rock, because I really feel like new metal was more alternative than it was actual metal, you know? But, you know, regardless, it was still a heavy album, still really good songs here. A lot of rapping, you know, there's some songs that are just straight up rap, you know? Then we got a few songs here and there that are just straight up alternative. Then songs, majority of the albums like actual new metal where it goes heavy, you know, deep guitars. You know, I'd say this was probably one of the best new metal albums I've listened to. When I first heard it, it kind of blew my mind away when I first heard it, you know. Which I'd been listening to Limp Bizkit all year. I actually just got into them this year. But I did buy this album last month, which, I mean, it was a pretty decent album. You know, there was a few filler songs here and there, which even the filler songs weren't even all that bad. It's just that they didn't really stand out that much. You guys know what I mean. And the production's actually really good on this, you know, guys. Definitely give it a try if you like Korn, Linkin Park, bands like that, which, you know, this was a pretty big band back in the 90s, you know. So yeah, guys, Limp Bizkit, pretty good stuff. Alright guys, next album I'm going to show you guys here is 1986's Kreator's Pleasure to Kill. And boy, I'm going to tell you right now, first time I heard this album, it just blew my mind away. I bought this one on Cyber Monday along with Morbid Tales. And you know what? I'm just going to go as far as to say this is one of the best albums in general I bought all year, whether it's metal, alternative, which those are usually the only two genres I buy. But, you know, this album was fantastic, guys. It killed. Just one of the best thrash metal albums I've heard as well. Possibly even one of my favorite metal albums in general. You know, this album's just amazing. It's got 9 songs. 3 bonus tracks also on it, which I haven't really given a listen to. Actually, I rarely listen to bonus tracks, actually. I usually just listen to the album, and then that's it. Which lately I've actually been a bit on a metal binge. For the past 2 weeks, I've just been listening to mostly metal, because for me it's usually 50-50 metal and alternative. And then I get these random phases throughout the year where I'm like really into metal, then these little phases where I'm like really into alternative. And lately I've just been really into metal, you know. But back to this album though, the production is great. It's could be a little bit better. I wish the bass drum was a bit more in your face because the double bass drum just kills on it. If only it was a bit louder, you know, that would have been a lot better for the production. But, you know, the songwriting's pretty tight. Really, really fast album. You know, they do not slow down a bit on this album. It's all killer, no filler. We got these nice little, this nice little booklet right here. They actually have a lot of the same pictures they had on the Endless Pain CD I bought last year, the remastered version. So, yeah. But yeah, guys, this is a fantastic album. If you love thrash, definitely check this album out if you haven't already. Kreator is one of the best, my favorite thrash metal bands at the moment, and for good reason, guys. Alright guys, last album I'm going to show you guys right here is 1985's Slayer Hell Awaits. Now, this is the most recent album I bought it last week, and it was a pretty good album, not going to lie. The production was really good. The guitars just sound, I love the tone on the guitars. The guitar solos are typical Slayer, you know, where they trade off between Jeff Hanneman, Kerry King. You know, really good stuff. The riffs are just really head-banging. You know, you can really just bang your head to them. What else can I say? The drums really are the really good part about this album. Love how the double bass drum just is right in your face on this album. I wish Pleasure to Kill was more like that. But anyways, yeah, I've only listened to it maybe 3 times in its entirety. And honestly, I can't really get too into this album. I don't know why. Like, just none of the tracks really stand out to me. Maybe I just really need to like really concentrate while I'm listening to it, maybe. Or maybe I just need to be in the right mood when I'm listening to it. But either way, if you guys like this album, tell me some good songs off of it so I can like really keep, so I can really pay attention to those tracks, you know? But yeah, maybe it's just one of those cases where I just really need to listen to it more. That's actually what happened with me and Endless Pain, Kreator's first album. I just couldn't get into it. Then after a while, I fell in love with that album. So maybe that'll happen with this album. We'll see. But yeah, it's typical thrash. Really like it. It's definitely heavy for its time, 1985. But yeah, guys, that's about it for this update right here. Alright guys, that about did it for this update. Keep an eye out for my next video I'm going to put out after this one. I'm just going to show my top 10, top 15 maybe albums I bought this year. Or you know what, I'm going to do top 10 and then show 5 honorable mentions for albums I bought this year. And they're not going to be albums that came out this year, just albums I bought this year, you know, if that makes any sense. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.